WWE have really been embracing the first W in their name, as we've been seeing more and more big shows take place abroad. In 2023, we had Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Backlash in Puerto Rico, and Money in the Bank in London, all of which benefited from a hot international crowd that added hugely to the atmosphere and feel of the show. 2024 has seen more of the same, with Elimination Chamber happening in Australia. On the day this video goes out, they'll present Backlash from France. And then they'll continue on through the summer, with Scotland hosting the second Clash at the Castle show, and then Bash in Berlin in August following SummerSlam. WWE President Nick Khan has explicitly stated that they're going to continue this strategy with their non-Big 5 pay-per-views. So I've pulled out my map of the world to try and find the best locations for these shows. And the first place I came up with was Dublin. Now, given I'm Irish, you may accuse me of some bias with this pick, and you are right on a level, but honestly, I'd stand by it. If you've ever seen the Irish fans on tour, whether it's at a Conor McGregor fight or an international soccer tournament, you know we've got some of the best fans out there. And it won't just be us. A lot of European fans would travel as well. And if you're looking for a venue, I would nominate Croke Park. Traditionally the home of Gaelic sports, it can hold 82,000 people, which makes it the fourth biggest stadium in all of Europe. We've had plenty of concerts there for the likes of Taylor Swift and U2, and we even had a Muhammad Ali boxing match there in the 70s, so it's well up to the job. It'll also be a great opportunity to highlight local talent, with the likes of Sheamus, Finn Balor, and Lyra Valkyria in big spots on the card. Even better, put Becky Lynch in the main event, and there'll be no shortage of big opponents for her. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, even Charlotte Flair. The one potential stumbling block for an Irish show would be who pays for it. WWE are known to prefer that any potential host city would fit the bill for the show. That's why Perth got Elimination Chamber this year, and why there were so many tourism ads peppered throughout the show. I think it's unlikely that the Irish government would pump loads of money into this show. So if Dublin is off the table, they might shift their focus to other European cities. The next top option for me is Madrid in Spain. They have a stadium called the Santiago Bernabeu, which can hold 85,000 people. It also has a retractable roof, so they won't need to worry about a WrestleMania 37-esque weather delay. With 2024 seeing shows in France and Germany, it only makes sense to tick another big European country off their list. And if anyone's seen Backlash, you know how hot a Latin crowd can be. With that in mind, we'll switch continents for our next location and check out Mexico, one of the biggest cradles of wrestling there is. Like Dublin, this card is a layup when it comes to showcasing native talent. You got Rey Mysterio and the LWO on your books, as well as Legado del Fantasma on the heel side of things. I mean, can you imagine the amount of money they'll make from Mexican-themed LWO gear? When picking the venue, they have a couple of options. There's a great arena in Mexico City that'll definitely hold 20,000 people. But if they're looking for a show on a bigger scale, there's also the Azteca Stadium. Given how passionate the Mexican people are about wrestling, I'm pretty confident in WWE's ability to fill up that place. And it'll be a real thumb in the eye to AEW as well, with MJF explicitly stating he wants to wrestle in that venue. Then there is India, a place WWE have been trying to crack for a while. Indian fans eat up WWE content on the internet, so the fan base is definitely there. In the past, this one would have been a lot more viable, but I think WWE themselves have cooled off on the region. After all, they did recently release a whole load of Indian talent, including the biggest name they could have put on that card, the former WWE champion Jinder Mahal. So this one is still possible, but not as much as it used to be. Finally, we're looking at another country in Asia, Japan. Like Mexico, Japan has a deep wrestling tradition, and the sport is taken very seriously in that part of the world. And unlike India, they have plenty of talent that can prominently feature on the card. Shinsuke Nakamura, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, as well as lots of Western wrestlers that had careers in Japan, including former Bullet Club members Cody, AJ, and Finn Balor. WWE aired an episode of Raw from Japan in 2005, which took place in Saitama Super Arena, so there's a potential venue right there. However, if they really want to go big, what if they do it in the Tokyo Dome? Just imagine that for a second. WWE in the Tokyo Dome, the home of Wrestle Kingdom. That would be gigantic. In their entire history, they've only held 2 events in that building. Both were in 1991, co-promoted with Super World of Sports, with Hulk Hogan in the main event on both occasions. So given those shows aren't too well remembered, there's an open goal to create a bit of history there. And they don't even need to mention New Japan to big up the venue. Instead, they can talk about Mike Tyson getting knocked out by Buster Douglas. That fight is in the conversation of the biggest upsets in boxing history, and it happened in that venue. A WWE pay-per-view in the Tokyo Dome would be a true pinch-me moment in wrestling history. So why not make a bit of history, Triple H? So those are the places I think WWE should hold their next international show. If I had to pick one, obviously I'd go for Dublin. But truthfully, I think all these places would be special in their own way. Where do you think WWE should hold a show? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting the like button, sharing it around, and subscribing to the channel.